So after you hear me, I will try to keep things very simplified for you. And students who are interested to make their career in photography uh, with no knowledge of photography prior to today. Uh, Maybe you don't have a camera, you don't have a, you just don't have a cell phone, smartphone. Still, you can create a lot of good images. And the way I will present my slides is that some of the photographs is mine, taken from mobile DSLR, you know, and some of them I have taken from source from other, because like sir also said, we don't like not a single person can be master of or jack of all trades, you know, because if I am a wedding photographer, I may not be doing wildlife photography. If I'm a wildlife photographer, I may not be doing the product photography. So some images I had, some images I had to source. So I'll keep on telling you. So yeah, so why exacting? Generally, we don't use not like negative words in our titles or in presentation, but this is not negative, I would say, but photography is a very serious business. You know, business is not in terms of commercial, but it's a very serious thing to do. Why? Because like sir also said, you can communicate through your photograph, through your work, and what you communicate is very, very important. How does it impact the society is your responsibility when you are holding the camera in your hand. What you see and what you produce is totally is just a matter of one click. And with one click, you can change the history, you can create new history, you can say what others are saying, or you can have your own voice. So it is a very, very, it looks very easy, but it is not when you actually do it as a piece of craft. So before I begin, uh, Dorothy Lange she's my one of my favorite photographers, and also in my presentation you will get to hear names of a lot of photographers. Please note them down and look at their works after the presentation, and you will learn a lot from their work because we are still learning from their masterpiece, work which they have done. So the camera is an instrument that teaches people how to see without a camera. When I heard this quote in my college time, I was really, well, it was like mind blowing for me because it is so true that when you many people were saying that how to tell a story, how to communicate through camera, how to communicate through images. So the camera, when you learn the technical part of the photography, it actually uh, narrows down your vision. And even when you're just going on the road, okay, with the camera I can just take look into the viewfinder and click an image. That's perfectly fine. When but what will make you a photographer? When will you realize that okay, you have arrived at something? You know, I'm not saying there is see, learning never stops. We are still learning. Every Khan sir, I'm sure he's still learning. We are evolving every day. But when you are going on a road or you're traveling with friends, when you are maybe attending an event, when you are looking it from your bare eyes without any camera, क्या आप ये देख पा रहे हो कि मैं अगर मेरे हाथ में कैमरा होता तो मैं इसको ऐसे फ्रेम करता? वो कुछ भी हो सकता है। आप जैसे मैं हमने बताया कि आप लोग हेरिटेज बॉक्स पे जाते हैं, हेरिटेज बॉक्स पे जाते हैं और वहां पे आप डिफरेंट मॉन्यूमेंट्स को शूट करते होंगे। बट सपोज एक दिन आपका कैमरा खराब हो गया या आप अपनी फैमिली के साथ कहीं गए हैं घूमने, can you see like in the landscape in front of you monument is huge, okay, no, whatever is in our front of our eyes we can see everything, but उसमें आप mentally क्या एक image form कर सकते हैं? That is very, very important. So and how, अब आपको लग रहा होगा कि sir is saying it's very difficult. It is not difficult, it comes with practice. Practice is the key in photography. And keep on, even if you have a cell phone, even if you have a DSLR, keep on practicing photography, keep on taking images. Many people may get inspired today to start photography even from their cell phones. Don't worry, start shooting, start photographing, start documenting whatever is around you. You are like Henry Cartier-Bresson, my inspiration in photography. You're one of my inspirations. He said your first 1,000 photographs are your worst photographs. तो अगर आप आज फोटोग्राफी शुरू करते हैं और आपको लगता है कि सर ने बोला था मैं ट्राई तो करूं, और शुरू में हो सकता है कि आपका फोटोग्राफी उतना अच्छा ना हो, कि लोग आपको लाइक ना, आपकी फोटोग्राफ लाइक नहीं कर रहे। आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट सोशल मीडिया, दैट्स हैज अ डिफरेंट connotation altogether, बट डोंट वरी, कीप ऑन प्रैक्टिसिंग। ये जो स्टोरी टेलिंग, किसी स्टूडेंट ने पूछा था कि हाउ टू डू स्टोरी टेलिंग इन फोटोग्राफी, इट इज इजी, बट इट कम्स विद टाइम, इट कम्स विद प्रैक्टिस। आप 4 फोटोग्राफ क्लिक करके ये नहीं सोच सकते कि ओके आई नो फोटोग्राफी, नो, वी स्टिल लर्न, आई स्टिल लर्न, thanks to social media. We also get to see a lot of new things coming up every day. So this, always remember this quote. Okay, now I would like to go from through some iconic images very fast. It is taken by Raghu Rai. Raghu Rai is, if you want to note down these names, please do. Of course, we all know Mother Teresa's, uh, she's Mother Teresa. And Raghu Rai is one of my favorite photographers also, who shaped Indian photography scenario when he started. And he is world, world famous photographer now. He has, people know Indian photographers, or people know Indian photography through his names, internationally. So one of his image, when he was doing this photo story or photo book on Mother Teresa in Calcutta, at her residence, at her, where she has her place. So he had a book. So this is one of the iconic images I'm going to show you in next, because I have less time. Uh, this is made by this film. This photograph is taken by Henri Cartier-Bresson, a French photographer. He traveled to India also for many years during independence era. He took a lot of images. Uh, so he has taken, like, look at this beautiful image, and that point of time when no Photoshop was there, no post processing was there. Look at the moment he captured captured this frame, with the film camera. Film camera मतलब पहले फोन तो थे ही नहीं, और जो कैमराज भी होते थे वो फिल्म, उसमें फिल्म रोल डलता था 36 का, उससे पहले मीडियम फॉर्मेट कैमराज होते थे। सो उस जमाने में ऐसी फोटोग्राफ प्रोड्यूस करना was a very difficult, was very challenging. So I'm just showing you these images to inspire you, and this is such an ordinary location. Like there's water and somebody is trying to cross the water, that's it. But look at the moment he clicked. Then, of course, this image was shown by Sir also, Great Depression by Dorothy Launch. And uh, like, I don't have words to say this image because it's inspired me a lot. And no photography lecture can be done without this showing this image. So I'm not going to stay. One more photographer I would like to say, S. Paul. S. Paul is the elder brother of Raghu Rai. He actually inspired Raghu Rai to become photographer. So this is the image which he was which he took during Muharram possession in Delhi. So look at the lighting, look at the background, look at the faces, the expressions, the style. Please interrupt me if I'm going fast. Iconic images, one more. Einstein, of course, we know. Arthur Sauce, one of the most celebrated photographers of 40s and 50s. So a lot of photographers were clicking Einstein's photograph, and he was tired of giving poses. This is the story behind this image. And when Arthur asked him to pose, he just took his tongue out. And this is one of the most popular image of Einstein. It was printed on a t-shirt. It is still printed on t-shirts and everywhere. Funny also, quirky also. But look at the moment, and that makes the that makes the photograph iconic. And also there's a storytelling also. You see a funny side of the person. This is how the storytelling is. Of course, the credit goes to the person in the photograph. The photographer did not ask him to do this, but still. Then again, one of my favorite photographs of Steve McCurry. Steve McCurry is an American photographer whose photograph Sir also shown was of Afghan girl for NGC. So he traveled India and South Asian countries a lot. He spent almost 20 years. So he clicked this image, and he was traveling, and the storm came, and he got down from the car and he took this image. And one of the most iconic images, this is also taken by him. Then now, coming from National Institute of Fashion Technology, I will not finish my talk without showing you the one fashion image. I'm sure you have come across a lot of fashion photography images these days. is a very upcoming trend. इंडिया में अभी बहुत इवॉल्व कर रहा है और बहुत अच्छा इसमें गेन्स है, मॉनिटरी गेन्स बहुत है. Let's speak about it. So this image was taken for Vogue magazine. Vogue is a fashion magazine. I'm sure many of you may know. Uh, uh, so Mario Testino is a South American photographer. No, like he's known worldwide for his fashion images, very dramatic images. So look at this. Of course, I'm not saying the politics of the. I'm not getting into the politics of the image. Of course, there are so many theories also, a lot of arguments also, like how you are using a wild animal in fashion photography in a very unnatural habitat. That's for sure. But when he did this shoot, so when I'm talking about iconic images doesn't mean only by photojournalism. It does not only stick to one's one one's field of photography. Even in fashion photography, you can create iconic images. And this particular photo shoot, there were 10 to 12 images for this particular shoot. He was like acclaimed, critically acclaimed, and this was a huge success for the magazine. But using a crocodile, who thinks like that? But he did, and there are a lot of other images where even the girl is holding the crocodile. So that I'm not showing you. Ultimately it's a reptile, and yeah. Then photography in India, Raja Deen Dayal. I'm sure you have heard his name, or if not, please Google about his name. He has done a lot of photography exhibitions have done on his work. So he started photography in India during British Raj, of course, and he used to take a lot of photographs of landscape and princely states, the Rajas, the Maharajas of different princely states. So this is how photography in India was evolved. This is I think Maharaja of Gaikwad in Baroda. Then also he took photographs of landscape. So why I'm showing you this photograph, because photography has come to a in a very advanced form now. These kind of images you will not find. But I still feel, because of the evolution in photography, it is still at a very early stage. This might be surprising for you. It might sound surprising for you, but if you talk about like photography is now around what 200 or more than 150 years now. But still I think we are in a very, very early stage. Then Colin Moray, a British photographer, he used to roam around in India during, in British Raj, and took a lot of photographs that point of time, although I believe that they had a very colonial point of view. Then Homai Veerawala, one of my favorite photographers. He was India's first women journalist. So she can be inspiring to a lot of women students, female students, if they want to make their careers. Please read about her. And this was one of the beating retreat just after the independence, and she was there. So I have used my own photograph here for a reason, because I love this craft, and this is and I wanted to show you that I'm really, really proud of this perfection. That's why I'm not showing off that I'm shooting there. It is just that I'm really, really proud of this, and the people I worked with for photography assignments are really like have helped me to grow as a person. They have groomed me, and the assignments also have kind of groomed me mentally, a lot. So photography as a career, yes, you have to climb up on a lot of unconventional places. A lot of risky assignments also have done. So if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. Mark Anthony, American singer and songwriter. Ultimately, he comes from a creative field, and this quote actually stands true. So, and this photograph was a part of one assignment which I was doing. I will show you one image of that particular assignment, because a lot of clients are still not allowing to highlight, the work which I've done for them to show. But this was taken in Jaisalmer. One of my fellow person whom I was working with, she took this photograph for me, and I was working on that. It was an assignment for a calendar for a corporate company. I'll tell you how much you can earn also from photography. Don't worry. So who is a photographer? Photographer takes pictures of people, places, objects, and events, and tries to artistically capture and evoke a mood or feeling surrounding a particular subject to tell a story. Please, after this, there are only images, but this I really want you to read. Anyone can take pictures. What's difficult is thinking about them, organizing them, and trying to use them in some way so that some meaning can be constructed. Please try to understand. Some meaning can be constructed out of them. You must be having 1,000 images in your cell phone or taken from DSLR. Can you organize them to make a project? Can you organize them to convey a meaning? For example, you are traveling and you are shooting, you are taking people's portraits. You like it. Suppose if you have 10 images of people's portraits of different cities or states in India, can you club them together and make a story out of that? That will make you earn in photography. That will make you a photographer. Photographer is not only to click images. You have to click a group of images, not at the same time. It cannot be in the same time. It's fine, but you should be able to organize your images and make a project or you have to bring out a meaning, bring out a context, like sir was also saying. Louis Balls is one of my favorite visual communication artists. Please look at their images on Google and you will learn a lot. So you so for now I will go quickly on the different genres you can explore in photography. To start with architecture photography, which is one of my personal favorite. Architecture में मेरा मतलब है heritage photography, astrophotography, documentary photography, aerial photography, event photography. There are so many things you can explore in photography. जो शायद आपने सुना नहीं होगा या आपने देखा होगा और आपको लग रहा होगा कि मैं इसको करियर कैसे बताऊं. Lot of things you can do in photography. To build your career in photography, first of all, it's a very creative field. You don't have to always learn or take admission in a college, but if you want to work you want to work in a company or in an organization, or if you want to teach photography later on after industry experience, you have to have a graduation, master's or diploma or certificate course in photography.
Can I interrupt you if you don't mind?
Yeah, please.
ये जो फोटोग्राफी के आपने जो बताए हैं फील्ड्स, तो आप थोड़ा सा इनके बारे में बता सकते हैं ताकि
मैम I have lot of example. इसके बाद यही है सब, यही सब.
अच्छा, ठीक.
I'll show you. Don't worry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So why this graduation and masters or diploma or certificate is important? For two reasons. First, see, when you enter a college, there are teachers who are more experienced than you and who will guide you properly, right? So your struggle becomes little less. You can be an independent artist. You can learn from your own, that's fine. But the mentors, teachers, whatever subject even you teach, you learn in your college, I'm sure teachers are there to guide you proper. They are there to mentor. That's very, very important. Second, if you want to join an office, even if you want to join Reuters or maybe any magazine you want to join as a photographer, you need to have a diploma or certificate so that they know that you you have a background knowledge of the code of the photography. So that's very, very important. Okay. Skills definitely are more preferred than academic qualifications, but like I'll tell you my example in 10 seconds. Like when I did undergrad in mass communication, which had photography. I did masters in mass communication, which had photography, and that is also from MCRC, one of the best institutes in the country. And then after that, I started making films, like documentary films. Then after 5 years, no, 2003, yeah, 5 years actually, to be precise, I wanted to pursue a photography career, right? Before I went into teaching. So even then also I did a course from O.P. Sharma sir in Triveni Kala Sangam in Delhi. It is in Mandi House. I did a 3-month diploma course once again. So it gave me again, like it refreshed my knowledge as a photographer. So that doesn't mean कि एक course कर लिया तो हो गया. You keep on refreshing your knowledge. Obviously you have to practice simultaneously, and it also gave me a certificate. And of course I did good in that, but it really helped me. So after undergrad, masters, I again did a certificate course, diploma course from Triveni Kala Sangam. So learning is never stopped. So skills as a photographer, you need eye for details. You need to train your eyes to see the details, visual skills, originality, very, very important. Do not try to copy, take inspirations. See a Raghu Rai's photograph or FB Khan's photograph or any other photographer's photograph. Try to recreate for your own practice, but when you produce a work, Do not try to be original, and original will come from within. I'm again telling you, from your cultural background, your your ideologies, which makes you as a person. Try to use them in your photography career to an artistic band of mind. That's always a teamwork skills. Sometimes you will be working as an independent photographer. Sometimes you have to work in an organization which has other people. So you need to also have to be I'm not a people's person, but you need to understand what people are asking you. I'm skipping some slides where you can work, setting up photography equipment, taking pictures, promoting the business, especially. This is your responsibility as a photographer. Employment कहाँ पे मिलेगा? Newspaper, magazines, e-commerce businesses, advertising agencies, freelancers, studios, NGOs, event management organizations. So there are, and इसमें भी बहुत सारी organizations हैं, multiple organizations are there, but these are just some basics. So now coming to architectural photography, this I've taken in Safdarjung Tomb in Delhi. So architecture photography may I'm covering heritage photography. So now, what is architecture photography? Basically, you go to a monument site, you go to a heritage site, and try to observe the distinct features and try to capture in your camera. So this was a project for Delhi government. I did. So I documented Safdarjung Tomb. So now Delhi government funded this project. Then architecture photography may he like these are the some of the images which I have taken. This is a mobile photograph. मैंने मोबाइल से लिया है in Puri, Konark Temple. This was a commission project by Intech Belgium on Orcha. So basically trying to find different frames. So architecture photography के लिए you can approach organizations which are promoting heritage education like INTAC, Aga Khan Trust for Culture, ASI, Archaeological Survey of India. If you can do some projects with them, and lot of these days, lot of corporate companies like I would not like to name, but there are a lot of corporate companies which are spending as their CSR, as their CSR money for architecture photography. So you shoot for them, you make a calendar for them, you make a photo book or coffee table book for them, and they will be funding your projects. But you have to be unique. You have to be very, very good at it because they take your interviews and you have to show their work. So this is one of my published work I did for Punj Lloyd company in Gurgaon. Although the company was not doing very well, but they wanted to make a calendar on heritage. So they approached me and I traveled in 5 states in India to shoot different embellishments on heritage monuments. This is Sikandra Tomb in Agra, where Akbar, Emperor Akbar is buried. So basically this was like you can see February in that. So there were 12 frames in that calendar, and it was a huge calendar, like 2 by 3 feet, and it was a wall calendar which company circulated to their own to their clients. So this is what I'm saying, that the corporate, please approach corporate companies for, if you want to in future, for work. They are spending good money. I know these days there are pandemic, but still this is like you have. So what I'm saying, that how to capture a space. So this is the Tughlakabad tomb, Tughlakabad fort के में जो सामने जो में जो tomb है. I'm forgetting the name of the location, but this is just a DSLR shot taken multiple images, and I have stitched them, and it was also kind of submitted to a client. Yeah, so you can see, like we all go to monuments, but next time when ma'am takes you to a heritage site, tries to go to the corners of the site, tries to see okay, everybody's clicking, my viewpoint should be very different. Should I include another part of the building or not? Should I stand here? Should I stand there? Try to observe. Then this will come with the practice. Then second is documentary photography. Documentary photography is funded piece of work. There is one organization called Sahapedia, Sahapedia, Sahapedia. They fund a lot of documentary projects. Now, what is a documentary project? Basically, you go on the field, you have a topic in mind, you go on the field and document a series and document the event or craft or anything in a series of images. They can be called photo features, like sir was also mentioning, And Sahapedia is one company which gives annual grants, like sir also mentioned Al-Qazi. So approach these companies and you will do, so you can come out as a documentary photographer. You can become a documentary photographer if you want. This is quite distracting. Can I, yeah, I don't know where to keep it. Anyway, so yeah, documentary photography. So, so this is a documentary photography assignment done by Tanya Chatterjee. She's a very celebrity photographer from West Bengal. She did this project for Sahapedia only. So she is trying to document here the making of Jodhpuri Mojri. Okay, yeah. So you can see I'm going very fast, but I'm just saying that if somebody is interested, and you need to have patience. You like traveling, so you can build a portfolio on documentary photography. So these are some of the images from this particular feature. I'm not included all. So this is how. So this photographer is trying to document the process of how to make the. But this is a paid and commissioned project which he did for Sahapedia. Then you can be a documentary photographer. Then comes aerial photography. This is a very upcoming field. Lot of photographers are going in this. You have to have a drone for this. It is also called drone photography. So people who have drone and they are so they fly it, and whatever the client wants, they capture that. So of course you have to know photography first. Then you have to also learn the technology of drone, how to fly it, like that. And uh, then you have to keep it in a certain way in the air where you can take the right image. So you can see this image. I used to work with this organization, Aga Khan Trust for Culture in Delhi, Nizamuddin. They are doing tremendous work for Nizamuddin urban renewal. So you can see the light here, perfect light to capture this space. No, so why I'm taking this photograph? Because they had kind of conserved this monument very beautifully, Humayun's tomb and its complex. So they wanted to take a photograph. So this I've taken from their website. Then again, aerial photographs, a lot of tourism sites, Indian tourism, Incredible India. You can approach if you have contacts, or if you can approach also like Chhattisgarh tourism, Kerala tourism. These tourism boards, they give a lot of freelance work or commissioned work to aerial photographs, because ये photography सब लोग नहीं कर सकते. You have to have a drone. You have to have also a vision, how to fly the drone and where to keep it for a perfect image and what you want to show. So a drone operator cannot be a photographer. Okay, you have to be a photographer first, then you buy a drone, and then you can become a aerial photographer. Then this is one of my personal favorite image taken by a drone. So drone, and again, what I'm saying is how to communicate a story. So in this photograph, of course, you can see the beautiful landscape of Rajasthan, and then here you can see the this is please Google and save this name, Johnny Miller. He did a aerial photography uh, uh, series on to show disparity all over the world. So this is the first photograph in his series where he's using the drone to, and this is Mumbai shot, Dharavi slum, and then the middle class urban housing. So he has taken a very nice shot of this. So it can immediately it is such a striking image. And so like we say, images speak 1,000 words. In image can speak. So this is one example of that. So aerial photography can be used also politically, sociologically, and whatnot. So it is not key always, and of course for commercial purposes, a lot of wedding photography is done by aerial shoots and drones. This is taken by Amit Pasricha. This was part of one of the calendars he took. So he took aerial shots of the India Gate before Central Vista work was started. It was quite an old image. So Amit Pasricha is India's one of the I think foremost panorama photographer. He's a panorama specialist. So please see his work. You will learn a lot. Then automobile photography. So many of you may be interested in cars, bikes. So this is also one of the very upcoming industry, and you need to have. So this is I took it in Auto Expo. It was again a commissioned assignment from Zig Wheels. I don't know whether you heard this name, Zig Wheels, cardekho.com, and there are many. Car and Bike also. So Car and Bike is also a company. So you can approach them. So if you're interested, and of course, bike, cycle, I'm assuming cycle, bike, or car, if you have at home, try to take a photograph of that and try to explore this. So this is a very specialized field, automobile photography, and many of the students, many of my students are working as an automobile photographer now. So this is I took for Zig Wheels. Again, one more. So this has one of my friend Ishan Shetty. He takes he's an amazing automobile photographer working for Zig Wheels. So this is also one field where you can go. So very specialized. This is I just took it. It was a commission assignment, Land Rover Katha. Then this was from Zig Wheels. So these kind of images I'm sure you have seen. So photography is everywhere, like ma'am also said. Be it a brochure, corporate brochure, leaflet, anywhere, magazines. Without photography, we cannot visualize this world. Even battery rickshaw. This Bharat Arora is a very good photographer. He takes a lot of nice studio photo shoots of automobile. Then fashion photography, one of my favorite fields. Sorry, this name is wrong. Actually, I copied the name. This is taken by me in one of the shoots in Calcutta. So fashion photography, what we do in fashion photography, we actually tries to sell fashion. Now, how do we sell and what is comprised of fashion? Fashion means, of course, the wardrobe, the makeup, the hair, even glitter. Even a glitter can be used as a product to sell, to be in a fashion photography. So fashion photography is a very interesting field, and I really like it. This is also my shot, but I just apologies for the wrong name in the on the bottom. This again, I was shooting for a fashion. So now, how to make career in fashion photography? Of course, we need a separate webinar for this, but you can approach you can start shooting your friends' photographs who like to dress up. So take their photographs with mobile. Go to a terrace, or if you have a DSLR. You don't have to have a perfect location for this to start with, to practice. And I'll be more than happy to take another webinar on any of these particular fields specifically. So this was before last Durga Puja. It was for a jewelry brand I was doing shoot. So this was a studio shot. Then again, this is actually Mario Decimal shot. One of the shots I have already shown you. So this is a very glamorous field, so to say. This is Eric Medigan Heck, American artist, amazing fashion photographer. And fashion photographers का काम कहाँ पे आप use कर सकते हैं? You can approach fashion magazines, fashion blogs, lot of fashion designers जिनको अपना, suppose if they have made a wardrobe and they need a photographer to showcase their work, so they will need a photographer. So you can approach a designer brand if you know somebody. Maybe uncle of you have a factory of leather bags. I'm just giving you an example. School bags. Why not try to shoot school bags, leather bags, in a very fashionable manner? See images. This is Prabhuda Das Gupta. Sorry, this is the wrong name. Sorry. But this is Prabhuda Das Gupta. I know you are recording this session, but please try to. I'm apologizing for this. So this is Prabhuda Das Gupta, one of the most celebrated photographers in India, fashion photographer. Please look at his work. Then Sabyasachi Mukherjee shoot is this. Sabyasachi Mukherjee is also from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Calcutta, of very early batches. Then this is again fashion photography. This is part of the Kingfisher calendar, which Atul Kasbekar, a photographer from Bombay, he does this Kingfisher calendar. I'm sure you have heard of it. So this is a very, very glamorous and very money, like you can make a lot of money in this. I think after wedding photography, fashion photography is one field where you can earn a lot, really, really well. But you have to struggle a bit. You have to assist a fashion photographer already who is working in the industry, and then you learn from him or her, and then you can proceed. Then this I want to show you, because fashion photography also, like this particular photograph is taken by a DSLR with lights and everything. This particular photograph is taken just with a mobile phone. And why I'm sure of, because Ismail Zaidi, a Moroccan photographer, he shoots with his iPhone. He has a camera also, but this particular fashion shoot he did only with his mobile phone. And this girl in the photograph is his sister. So if you see this particular uh, shoot of his, you will be really, you will love it. And one thought will definitely come to your mind ki, I think I can do this, you know like this, showing a human connection in this kind of abstract. This can be a little abstract, but it falls in the fashion photography genre. Then food photography, a lot of food bloggers are there on Instagram, influencer. So you can be a food photographer also. Now, who will take your images? Restaurants, Zomato, Swiggy, they all have this contract photographers who does shoot for them. Suppose if you know somebody who runs a cafe, you can shoot images of the products which can be used in their menu. So food photography, this is taken by my friend Ravi Kant. He was there with me in Triveni Kala Sangam. He has now become a good photographer in Delhi. So like this kind of composition, like like lemons are there with just a teaspoon and a small bowl, and like this background, this fabric is there. Is it difficult? I think it is not difficult. It's just that we need to train our mind to think, okay, we can create extraordinary frames with very ordinary subjects, or with a very ordinary objects. And this comes with practice and learning, you know. So food photography is also quite popular these days. You can become a food photographer. Then landscape photography, you can become a landscape photographer also. If you like it, if you are interested in environment, uh, if you are environmentalist, if you like to travel also, and if you really are very sensitive about environment and what is going on around us, you can become a landscape photography and have a say. This I have taken in Goa. This is Gurgaon. This image is pixelated because I copied from my Instagram, but this is in Bishnupur, just to show the landscape. So now landscape photography, how will you earn, or where will you go? You can sell your images to Getty Images. Uh, you can Shutterstock. You can sell your images as a landscape photographer. Also, there are a lot of magazines like Outdoor Photography is a magazine. A lot of landscape photography blogs are also there. You can sell your images to them. Uh, I'm not reading chat right now, but I can see the numbers going up. So I'll finish and then quickly I'll take questions. So, these kind of shorts. Definitely you can talk about environment. This I've taken in Binsar. This is West Bengal. This is Calcutta, near Calcutta. This is Lansdowne. So even in landscape photography, what you are trying to capture, very, very important. So like this photo I call Snake Road, because the road is like that. So landscape talks about nature mainly, and some part of urban element can be there, but largely it talks about natural elements. This I've taken in Dhanorti. So I try to compose this image, like this branches of this tree, or can just go up to that particular hill, uh, like this. Lot of images. This is uh, near Belgium I took. Then yeah, for landscape photography, nothing. Ansel Adams, the father of landscape photography, I would say, in the world. He started the genre of landscape photography uh, in 1940s, 30s, 50s, and he captured like really mind-blowing images of landscape. So learn from him, learn from his work. Then these days, a lot of baby or kids photography is very popular. Newborn babies. Even इसी में मैं बोलना चाहूँगा कि maternity photography, like some like that 9 months, people are now getting it documented through photography. So this is also, so this wedding photography, fashion photography, this baby and kids photography, and one more genre I will talk about. They are very, very good with money. Why? Because they fashion photography, for one reason ki they want to sell their clothes and whatever. Then this baby wedding, they all are come with a very emotional approach. The consumer is very, very emotional about, of course, suppose if I'm getting my daughter photograph, I want it to be the best. I want my daughter to look pretty, or जो भी frame है. So उसके लिए मुझे जो फोटोग्राफर जितना पैसा बोलेगा मैं देना को तैयार हो जाऊंगा, if I can afford. I'm not saying कि everybody can afford, but I'm just saying that these are very emotional. They just hit the emotional string. So this is also one genre. of photography which is really popular these days, then pet photography. There are a lot of photographers who are only specializing in pet photography. So this is also comes to for because people are very emotional for their pets. So but for these, so there are no magazines for these pet and baby photography. So here you have to work as a freelance photographer and try to build a portfolio, upload it on Facebook, Instagram, Behance, and try to popularize through yourself, through contacts, through your friends and family. Then comes photojournalism. Many of you may be interested in talking about reality. So photojournalism is one field which is very, very promising. And as technology is upgrading, this field is becoming more and more popular. So Kulwant Roy is one of the India's first foremost photojournalists. He took this image. Now this image is an iconic image, of course. We have Jinnah and we have Gandhiji in this. So it has a long history. This Dalai Lama having a possession. Homai Verawala have taken this image. Then again, Dar Yasin, he was a Pulitzer Prize winning photographer, photojournalism. So this is they are it is in Kashmir. So the people had climbed trees, to see a funeral in Kashmir uh, of a militant actually. Yeah, and then I'm I wanted to talk about it more, but we don't have time. But Danish Siddiqui, you must have heard news last recently that he was killed uh, in Afghanistan in near Kandahar. He was documenting the war between Taliban and Afghan. So and everywhere it was people were sobbing, and he was my senior, one year senior to me. A great inspiration he was, and I've learned so much from him. And he took this image about this Rohingya Muslims and in Bangladesh, and he won Pulitzer Prize award for this particular image. It was a great loss for I'm getting a little emotional about it, but can't can't help it. Yeah. Then you can be a portrait photographer. Again, you have to approach magazines. You have to be a freelance photographer. Portrait photography, we all know Steve Jobs, the most popular portrait of him, जो उनकी autobiography पे भी है. So Albert Watson was a very famous portrait photographer. So you can explore these fields individually. Annie Leibovitz, Johnny Depp, Muhammad Ali, again Ali Leibovitz. So you can specialize in portrait photography. So you can see there's a common thing between this. The image is only taken till the chest area, right? So this is one like bookish way of taking the portrait photography, and this is so yeah, one of the most famous photographs of Leonardo taken by. So you can become a portrait photographer also. Rishi Kapoor, Avinash Govarikar is again a celebrated. Then comes product photography. So you can explore these different genres. You can say I want to be a product. I want to be a sorry. So this is name is wrong. This was my mistake. But this product photography is this, but this genre is you can become a portrait photographer only. You can do a fashion photography. उसमें भी आप पोर्ट्रेट फोटोग्राफी कर सकते हैं, या फिर सिर्फ आप पोर्ट्रेट फोटोग्राफी कर सकते हैं, टॉकिंग taking different portraits wherever you're traveling, maybe on the celebrity. So this so a lot of celebrity photographers actually do uh, only portraits of like famous people, so they have become very famous of it by that. Then comes product photography. We all see in social media, you can become a product photographer also. Then you can, these are very ordinary objects at your household. You can try to click their photographs, and where you can actually approach Amazon.com. Amazon is actually hiring product photographers on a full-time basis. You can approach them. उसमें क्या होता है कि they will give you suppose 10 products a day to shoot in their office or maybe at home due to pandemic. So you have to click a lot of product images for them. You can also freelance with this. You can approach different brands, maybe jewelry brand, any brand, technology, craft brand to do product photography. Then comes real estate photography. Real estate photography is like because real estate sector is really booming. We again started growing because of pandemic. There was a delay. But now, how to enter into real estate photography, and what is real estate photography? Real estate photography is when you shoot this construction sites and the the final finished product in the real estate. So this like then how to get the work? You can approach different corporate groups who are constructing these villas, these buildings, these skyscrapers, wherever, and you can approach them and you can tell, whenever you finish your work, I will, before it starts getting used, I will do the photography and you can use those photography for your posters, banners, website, everywhere. So this particular photograph, I was working for an architecture company. So they did the entire interior of this office, and next day it was functioning. So they sent me in the night to shoot this particular office in Gurgaon before it, so I gave this photograph to the architectural company, that architecture company, and they used this photograph for their own portfolio. So here, so they need photographers for this. One more, and then this is also for, a lot of, I have done a lot of interior shoots also for different architects. This is all in Delhi. This is in Hoskas. There was a guest house in Hoskas. So these are all commissioned projects. Then sports photography, of course, we all know him, Neeraj Chopra. Sports photography is also one genre which you can explore. One of the most famous photographer of India is Sukumar Seshadri. He went in this Olympics also. So sports photography has also a lot of money in this, but due to the pandemic, because a lot of sports events were not happening, so there was a little halt in this. But this is ever growing and ever green field, I would say, timeless field, because sports events are yet keep on happening and you can explore this genre also. Now, how to become a sports photographer? This is a very tricky part because you have to learn photography in detail because it's a very challenging field. You have to use the right equipment and how to take these kind of sharp images when the movement is so fast. So that will be another class. But yeah, Tom Jenkins, again, one of the most popular photographers. So this is one field you can approach. There are a lot of sports magazines also, sports blogs also, ESPN channel, a lot of sports channels also you can approach. They have their websites and they need photographers. Then travel photography for travel magazines, for travel blogs. You can start for travel companies, for tourism, Indian tourism. So this is also one field. If you like travel, you would like to meet new people, you don't like to be in one city for long. So this is one field for you. This I took in Lucknow. This is in Goa. This I took in for Pushkar, Bombay. So travel magazines also, you can also a lot of travel brochures you can contribute to with your photographs. Condé Nast एक magazine है बहुत popular, उसके लिए आप काम कर सकते हो. Then travel photography में you have to, of course, you have to time your photograph very well. So this I was taking Goa. And in travel photography, again, you meet a lot of interesting people. So you can take a lot of portraits in travel photography. So this was in Nagaland, Rajasthan, forgetting the name, there was a Bauri there, near Alwar. This is again Mon, Nagaland. This is in Bishnupur. So travel photography is also about people, no? So you can make another set of images for people's portraits. This I just took in MP. This I really like because I was in that Rashtrapati Bhavan, and two people were putting the lights on the dome for the Independence for 26th January program. So I just took this image. So street photography is one genre where you go to the market, you may notice something interesting and you click. Street photography also, you will get a lot of interesting sites to shoot, and you just have to keep your mind open, where to take, what to take when you're going on the road. So street photography is a very wide area. You can have people, building, landscape. So, but street photography is like this kind of things. But it also it's very good to start with. If you want to explore photography, this is the first one genre where you can start with. You can just go with your mobile phone or a camera and take shots on the street, whatever you find interesting. Like this I took because there are two very significant things in Calcutta: Flurries and obviously yellow taxi of West Bengal or Calcutta. So I just took this image for that. Then again, because this uh, I really like the composition here. So if you get this kind of frames, of course you are from Delhi, so you all are in Delhi, so you go to Chandni Chowk, you will find a lot of images like that. So here you can capture people, emotions, locations. Yeah, this woman was just drying her hair. I just took, this is a mobile shot. Uh, he was sleeping during the daytime, keep the shop open. Then then wildlife photography, again a very big genre to talk about. Wildlife photography needs a lot of patience, lot of struggle in this. One of my very good friends from Jamia, Shah Sayyed, he is a good photographer and filmmaker, actually wildlife filmmaker and photographer. It needs a lot of patience because of course you can't direct animals, so you have to wait for the right moment to capture. So this is taken by Mithun H, celebrated photographer in India, wildlife. So this is very interesting field. Two of my students are actually now becoming a wildlife photographer. They are working on it. But इसमें थोड़ा सा काम मिलने में मुश्किल हो सकता है शुरू में, because you have to build your portfolio, and portfolio build करने के लिए, because this is little unpredictable, no? You're capturing something which is unpredictable. You can't control the situation there, right? So उसके लिए आपको थोड़ा 3-4 years 5 years तक थोड़ा struggle करना पड़ेगा अपना portfolio बनाने के लिए. You can join still if you want to get a job in NGC, or you can work with a wildlife photographer as an assistant. Nothing like it. There are a lot of companies which organize this travel tours, So obviously, if travel hoga, to they also take people to the different jungles or different places. So there also you can be with them and build your own wildlife photography portfolio while working for them. So whatever images you will click, they can use in their website to promote travel further. So this is a little struggling field. मुश्किल होगा इसमें, but only passionate people, I would say, like really who are really passionate and who can give 5, 6, 10 years to this field, then only people will recognize you, because, and also when you are sitting in a jungle or some place, you have to, and if it is not a commissioned work, so you have to bear your own expenses, right? So then suppose once your name is, people know you, then you will get a lot of commissioned work also. So sometimes you have to be there for 1 year, 2 years in the jungle or in the wildlife to shoot. Ratika Ramasamy, very good bird photographer or wildlife, I would say, photographer. She is I'm really big fan of her. She took this image, and you can also see a lot of storytelling is there, because this Komodo dragon is going to eat the eggs laid by this parakeet pair, and they are trying to stop it. So even in wildlife, you can get such an interesting frames. This I just took some in Lucknow, not in Lucknow, I think in Jim Corbett. So I took it in with my camera. So I also like bird photography. Sometimes this is Jodhpur, this is Delhi. Yeah. Then wedding photography. Wedding photography, like sir also said, now I'm towards the end of my presentation. Wedding photography is also one genre which I personally don't do. Well, I don't pursue this, but you can actually make crores, like sir also said, crores, lakhs of for an entire wedding, or even lakhs of shoot, lakhs rupees per day shoot, for 1 day, 2 day, 5 day shoot. So because people are very emotional, and of course you have heard of this term big fat wedding. So you have to just find those people who are willing to spend a lot of money on their wedding day, and just ask and show your portfolio. Make some portfolio first. Whenever the wedding season will come, and it's due to pandemic, less like impact of pandemic, शायद थोड़ा सा अभी फिर से function शुरू होगा, wedding function शुरू होंगे. So take some images of your family functions, wedding functions, and make your own portfolio, and then you approach these new clients. इसके लिए you don't have to have a company, so to say, starting में. Through personal contacts you can get to make these portfolio. Yeah, all the crazy photography you can do. Also emotions are there to capture. It's an emotional day. Then event photography. Event photography is something which you can again start with. दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में तो इतना फेस्ट होता है, अभी ऑब्वियसली नहीं हो रहा होगा, बट इतना फेस्ट होता है, आप अपना कैमरा उठाइए, मोबाइल उठाइए और उन फेस्ट को शूट करने की कोशिश कीजिए. So through that you can get a lot of images for your portfolio, and then you can approach event management companies who organize these events, and they will need you to shoot the events they organize. So it will make your portfolio also, and company's portfolio also, which they can publicize later on their website and Instagram or something. So of course timing is very important in event photography, but at what time you press the shutter release button. So this is Jesus and Mary College pic I found on internet, so I'm using this to show you that this is very good point to start event photography. आपके तो campus में ही होता है, DU में तो होता ही है. So then last but not the least, I think this one or two more are there. Astrophotography, people who take photograph of celestial bodies. This is also one genre. Please explore this because there's a lot to discuss in this. But astrophotography, you can again sell your photographs to different magazines, different website like shutterstock.com, Getty Images. They will buy your images, and they can send it for wallpapers, and so these kind of star trails you have seen in your maybe on your phone or social media. So this is again one more genre of photography. So you can pick. Today I have given you a lot of options. You can pick, and this image actually I inserted while sir was talking about this new because this is little upgraded version of photography. This is not product photography. This is still life. So now due to pandemic, we are all stuck at our homes, right? So what to do now? What to photograph now? Okay. So like in this photograph, you can see what do we have? We have I think orange and a pair of sunglasses. That's it, and a background. So this is called still life. So I only have one or two images of this. So even the still life is what? Shooting very ordinary objects from your daily life and make them look pretty or more appealing. So even if somebody says कि कहाँ जाऊँ, pandemic है, क्या shoot करूँ, and people are also not comfortable in shooting other people sometimes, say, so get these daily used objects, which we see every day, and shoot them, and make your portfolio. So and practice, and enjoy. So yeah, again, still life. Some of the equipment, basic equipment you will need. First of all, you can shoot with mobile phone also, but definitely I will recommend if you're serious about photography, get a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, a lens and batteries and memory card. These are very basic, and a hard drive is very important. Hard drive is here because you have to save your photographs for long. So you can buy cameras, and I'm sure many of you will have a question: if my budget is this, what camera I should buy? Should I go for Nikon, Canon, Sony? A lot of options in the market. We can have a different session for that. Some of the magazines which you can look for to get inspiration from, to learn from: Amateur Photographer, Aperture, B&W, Digital Photo, Outdoor Photographer, or Better Photographer. Please, I'm sure their online editions will be available. So look at these magazines and learn. And in the end, I would like to say, a journey of 1,000 miles begin with a single step.